that working man's gone. You see remnants of him walking around city centres. You see the old men with the flat caps. They're usually very hunched over because they had the weight of the world when they were young. They carried it all. But that working man's well and truly gone. And I guess what you see in this exhibition is my tribute to that man. And the paintings depict a viewpoint of a child. Somebody pointed out that the perspective I've got in the paintings are from the perspective of a maybe 5-6-year-old. So to me, when I was a kid, you didn't really think too much about the work that your parents did or the work that your father did. It's only until later years that you kind of like sit and think, hang on, what did these men do? You know, because they kind of they did their work, but they left it there. They never really brought the work home. Not like today. Today we kind of, there's probably a lot of like trouble in families because the men sort of like bring their work home today. But then it was a kind of they grafted. But I think they were pleased to just be able to leave it where it was, leave the industry. I mean, when the horns went, you know, in the shipbuilding here, and the gates opened, it's just like a big mass exodus, you know. Where I was brought up was outside Glasgow, and the nearest town was Kilmarnock, but the little village that I was born and brought up in was a mining community. It had a few mines around, so I was brought up with miners. It was a kind of change. There was lots going on in the 60s and 70s in the world, you know, lots of ups and downs, lots of massive changes going on. Attitudes were changing, that was the biggest thing. And I think that's when the Ganji, that's when the working man kind of like started to die out. It was becoming a bit of a dying breed. I suppose the working man's like the men that put the great in Great Britain, I think. They were the backbone of the country. They were the men that, like, you know, built the bridges and made the ships, and yeah, they kind of put the foundation down for the country. And that's, I guess, you know, when the country was referred to as Great Britain. You know, we had a Great Britain. I don't think we've got a Great Britain these days, you know. It's quite a shame because, I mean, here we are, and you know, we're on the River Clyde today, and I mean, we've got like a remnant of what this area was like, you know. I mean, it's a huge shipbuilding area here, and it's quite sad, you know. It's quite even though you've got like all these modern buildings and nice hotels and bridges, it's got a sense of like it's got a sense of loss somehow. It's quite a barren. I don't know how you feel. It feels barren somehow, and there's no people. It's like there's nobody down here. And when you think what it was like here, just like a hub of activity in production, and what was made here, just, you know, like it reverberated around the world, and it contributed to the world in itself, you know. This was the forefront of technology here. This was the forefront of life, basically, you know. To me, it's not so much the work that they did that was important. It's who they were as people. And even though there's no like photograph or paintings of them actually working, doing the job, it's when they left the job and came back to us, when my father and my grandfather came back to me, and the time I was able to spend with him, that was important, more important than the work he did. It was the time I was able to share with him. And I guess that's why you don't see the guy actually at work. You see him coming home from work, or going to work? I said, well, yeah, it's just struck me there. Thanks for that question. But it kind of, that's what was important to me, the fact that he's coming home. When you look at, like, you know, the Pathé News and all the archive footage of the men, they were all at work. It kind of documented the men at work. I don't remember seeing many of them when they came home to their families and stuff. It concentrates more on them working. But to me, the working man encapsulates more than just his work. Because the working man, it was his life, you know, it was everything to do with him, you know. And I think it's more of a, you know, it's not like a artistic, historical thing that I'm painting. It's more to do with life. It's more to do with anthropology than historical art. You know, it's capturing life, the life that the working man had. I would love people to come along and realise that they haven't just been to an art exhibition, that they're looking at paintings. I want them to go on a journey, maybe of like self-exploration, to look at how their life may have been in the past, what they can learn from the life that they had then, and what they can learn from their life now. And if there's anything in there that hopefully makes people like stop and think, maybe what am I doing with my own life? And what can I learn from these working men that I see up in the canvas? What's it trying to tell me as a person? That would be nice. Yeah.